What's up YouTube, Mex Tech Guy here. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about a cool little product called Fever Scout, and just as the name implies, it's a fever detector. Now I'm sure everyone has seen one or maybe both of these thermometers as a kid, but coming from a parent, the Fever Scout definitely puts an ease on sickness. So for starters, the unboxing is pretty basic, greeting you with the Fever Scout and its casing, some AAA batteries, some patches, and of course the manual, which in this case I do suggest parents read. So my initial impressions were pretty puzzling only because I've never seen this type of solution being implemented into a thermometer. The plastic casing is pretty basic with the top clear cap popping off to expose the Fever Scout itself. The bottom portion of the casing does swivel open, which exposes the extra patches and of course where the batteries are going to go into. Overall, the design is pretty basic with lots of plastic all over, which is fine considering that this is going to be used every once in a while, so it doesn't need to be super sturdy. So to get things kicked off, all you need to do is pop in the batteries, and at this moment go ahead and download the app from the Play Store if on Android or the App Store if on iOS. Once downloaded, just follow the on-screen steps which guide you on how to pair the Fever Scout to your phone. Do ensure that the Bluetooth on your device is on prior to doing so to avoid any connectivity issues. Now, one thing to mention, which is very misleading throughout the setup process, is to ensure you remove the patch from the charging base after you are told to rest it to activate the patch. I had to do this a few times before I realized that the patch needed to be off the base for the patch to pair. Again, pretty misleading based off the instructions, so I figured I would mention this. Once paired, you're good to go. From here, just grab an adhesive patch, and to one side you have the sticky side that will be facing the Fever Scout, and the other will be facing the child's skin. You have a cutout for the hole that exposes the metal contact piece which transmits the data back to the casing and back to your phone. As long as it's aligned correctly and contact point is exposed, then it's good to go. From here, place the Fever Scout under your child's armpit, but make sure that the purple side is facing the inside of the armpit. I would suggest bending your child's armpit and placing the purple side at the crease, since this is where you get a more accurate reading when the armpit is closed. As far as the patch goes, you are all set. Just make sure the base is within 5 feet from your child due to data being transmitted from the patch to the base and back to your phone. However, your phone is able to communicate with the base from no more than 40 feet. This obviously depends on walls and such, but in my case, my son's room is next to ours, so I had no trouble communicating with the thermometer. Now the app is pretty simple. Your front page consists of the current temperature if the Fever Scout is paired. You can also see past temperature readings dating back to even a week, but most importantly, I was able to track the temperature from the night before, and this helps with keeping track of your child's temperature. Now the cool thing is that if the temperature exceeds a certain point, such as 101 degrees, it will alert your phone, which is exactly what I would like as a parent. This definitely helps alleviate some of the stress that parents go through when their child has a fever, because now you don't have to constantly get up in the middle of the night to check your child. Now, I'm not saying that you should totally not check on your child, but I can see this helping parents sleep a little better at night. Also, if you would like, you can take notes within the app, for example, to take a note when you gave your child medicine, or when was the last time you checked their temperature. In addition, you're able to manage users in case you have multiple children in your household. You can also change the alert threshold, and even has a body temperature guide to show you what the normal temperature would be for certain parts of the body. I personally found it very useful and fairly responsive. In my usage, I didn't have a sick child to test it on, but I did put the patch near heat, and the phone definitely let me know when it exceeded the threshold. In addition, my son actually put the patch on, and I asked the comfort level of the patch, and he said it really didn't bother him. So if you want to put it on your child, they shouldn't complain that it hurts or anything like that. However, the Fever Scout is not perfect. For one, your phone has to be set to sound mode and can't be on silent mode, otherwise you won't get the notification. For some, that may not be a problem, but for others that receive notifications nonstop, it may. Nonetheless, you can always set the Do Not Disturb to only allow Fever Scout app to allow notifications. In addition, every time you decide to use the Fever Scout again, you have to pair the patch again, which is slightly inconvenient. The casing is battery operated instead of being rechargeable, but a rechargeable base may already be in the works for version 2. By no means I'm saying that this is going to replace your old thermometers, but I will say that if you want to track your child's temperature all night without having to get up every hour, this may be much needed in your household, especially with sickness and winter creeping up quickly. Well guys, that wraps up today's video. Be sure to press that like button if you enjoyed the content, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on my uploads. Catch you guys in the next one. Later.